No need to amend or improve existing MACC Act. Actual cause of Orang Asli deaths to be determined after tests. Good afternoon. There is no need to amend the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission or MACC Act 2009 to improve the procedure for the appointment of the MACC Chief Commissioner. Dewan Rakyat Speaker Dato' Muhammad Arif Mat Yusof said enlarging the discussion on the amendment was not required as the government had worked within the law in appointing new MACC Chief Commissioner Latifah Bibi Koya. Dato' Muhammad Arif also said that the Parliamentary Select Committee or PSC on major public appointments cannot disagree with the appointment as it is a done deal.
Setakat ini di bawah MACC Act atau MACC, kuasa untuk melantik adalah di tangan Yang Tuan Agung atas nasihat Perdana Menteri. Ini tidak dipertikaikan. Ya. Jawatan kuasa pilihan ini pun akan bertindak mengikut lunas undang-undang. Ya. Kita boleh keluar daripada apa yang sudah pun diperuntukkan. Ya. Jadi pelantikan Latifah Koya itu memang mematuhi undang-undang. Tak ada isu.
Dato' Muhammad Arif said this when responding to reporters on Dewan Rakyat Deputy Speaker Nga Khaw Ming's suggestion for the MACC Act to be amended. According to Nga, the amendment must include a clause for a proposed appointment to first be referred to the PSC for major public post appointments. As of last May, as many as 16 pieces of land owned by the Ministry of Defence have been trespassed. Now, the Defence Ministry, in a statement issued, said the intrusions involve agricultural activities, building structures, squatter homes and houses of worship, as well as illegal logging. Now, the Defence Ministry also said that members of the Malaysian Armed Forces are now living on 471,836 hectares of land belonging to the Ministry, which includes Army campsites, shooting ranges and ATM housing areas. The ministry has taken action by submitting an application for enforcement to the Federal Land and Mines Department and the State Land and Mines Office, as well as issued evacuation notices to the trespassers. Other actions that the ministry will be taking includes putting up fences around the land, as well as notice boards for prohibited areas or military areas prohibiting entry, as well as drawing up land rental or lease agreements for development. The ministry said it will also apply for court orders for the trespassers to vacate the site and order the state authorities to conduct operations to acquire the land. It has advised the public not to trespass, and if they are interested, they can apply to the Federal Land and Mines Department, as the ministry has its own development plans for the federal land. The actual cause of death amongst the Orang Asli community in Kampung Kuala Koh in Kelantan will be known soon after the serology and polymerase chain reaction or PCR tests have been completed. Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said staff at the Gua Musang Hospital and Kuala Krai Hospital were currently doing some advanced clinical trials to determine the cause of the lung infection and subsequent death of the individuals. According to the post-mortem done on the bodies, Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli said the ministry had so far determined that the deaths were due to secondary viral or microorganism infections. He said police had also begun monitoring and controlling the entries and exits in the area to avoid any further risk of infection or transmission of the disease.
PDRM sudah mula buat sekatan untuk hadkan kemasukan orang luar ke perkampungan tersebut. PDRM sudah mula buat sekatan untuk hadkan limit movement kemasukan orang luar ke perkampungan tersebut. Hanya individu yang berkaitan saja yang akan dibenarkan masuk. When you go in, you got to have really the personal protection equipment, bukanlah personal protection. Yeah, you must be very, the mask tu is not the usual, the N95 Bagi media yang membuat liputan, for you all, bagi media yang membuat liputan di kawasan tersebut, mereka perlu laporkan kepada jabatan ataupun klinik kesihatan You got to have that, be informed, and then for you to be actually pemantauan kesihatan selepas mereka keluar.
He said this in a press conference after a town hall session with general practitioners in Putrajaya. "47 people from 14 families in Kampung Kelah Baru in Sungai Perak were relocated to a temporary evacuation centre after their homes were hit by a flash flood following heavy rain yesterday evening. Now, according to the Batang Padang District Disaster Management Secretariat, the flood victims comprise 35 adults and 12 children. The District Disaster Management Secretariat said the Kampung Kelah Baru Community Hall was opened as an evacuation centre after floodwaters exceeded the 1-metre level. It said 21 personnel from various agencies, including the Civil Defence Force, Royal Malaysia Police, Fire and Rescue Department and the Social Welfare Department undertook the evacuation operation. It added that the agencies will continue to monitor the situation and provide the necessary assistance to the victims. Nine-month-old Ainul Mardiah Ahmad Saifuddin, who was flown to London for treatment for a rare form of cancer known as germ cell tumour, was successfully operated on Monday at a local hospital in the city. Now, the large tumour, which grew in the baby's mouth, weighing about 200 grams, was removed by a team of surgeons and anaesthetists led by Professor David Dunaway, consultant plastic and reconstructive surgeon and head of the craniofacial unit of the hospital, which admitted Ainul Mardiah upon her arrival from Malaysia on May 24th. According to Julian Ong, a craniofacial and pediatric plastic surgeon who was one of the 4 doctors who took part in the 5-hour operation, the operation went better than planned. Ong, who hails from Penang, said there were cancerous and non-cancerous components of the tumour.
It was a mixed tumor actually, so we know there was a cancerous component and then there was another component which was not cancerous. I think we'll have to wait for the analysis of the tumor to see whether it's still got some cancerous components to it. So next we're going to just keep her comfortable on intensive care and then let her recover, let the wounds heal, and then we'll have to reassess her over the next few weeks and months to see if there's any signs of recurrence. So hopefully tonight she has a nice stable night. We're going to give her plenty of pain relief. We're going to give her fluids and monitor her. And then tomorrow, hopefully we can think about waking her up and seeing how she wakes up. And then, if she wakes up nicely and she can come off intensive care, we can get her back to the ward here.
Beaming with happiness were Ainul Mardiah's parents, Ahmad Safiuddin Ahmad Razak and Nurul Irwani Zaidi, both 24, who visited their baby after the operation.
Gembira ibu bapa mana yang dah nak tengok anak dia sihat. Yang keduanya bersyukur dengan Allah sebab masih lagi beri kami berdua peluang untuk menjaga Ainul, menjaga kebajikan Ainul. Tuhan masih lagi bagi peluang untuk kita orang berdua menjadi sebagai seorang ibu dan ayah lah untuk Ainul Mardiah. So dia sangat cantik dan dialah maksudnya dialah anak yang dilahirkan tahun lepas, macam mana rupa dia. So hari ni kita dapat tengok lagi muka dia yang pada saat-saat awal kelahiran dia. Kita rasa macam Ainul reborn. Ainul telah dilahirkan semula dengan sifat yang sungguh sempurna, ciptaan Tuhan yang sangat-sangat sempurna, macam juga dengan kanak-kanak yang lain.
Both Safiuddin and Irwani, while thanking generous Malaysians for their donations, requested that they continue to pray for Ainul's well-being. And coming up, a government ready to review foreign workers' recruitment policy. That story up next. Stay with us.
Faiz, my son. My heart bursts with joy seeing him so excited for Raya. This year, Raya is going to be extra special for him because he will get to feel the takbir and join others celebrating for the first time in his life.
And welcome back. Bank Negara Malaysia's international reserves stood at $102.3 billion as at 31st of May 2019 from $102.8 billion on the 15th of May of 2019. The central bank has said the reserves position was sufficient to finance 7.3 months of retained imports and was 1.1 time total short-term external debt. Now, in a statement, Bank Negara said the main components of the international reserves as at 31st of May comprise of foreign currency reserves at $96.3 billion, International Monetary Fund reserves position at $1.1 billion, special drawing rights or SDRs at $1.1 billion, gold at $1.6 billion, and other reserve assets at $2.2 billion. It also said that as at 31st of May, assets totaling dipped to 444.73 billion ringgit from 447.84 billion ringgit previously, while currency in circulation climbed to 114.55 billion ringgit from 109.66 billion ringgit. The government ready to review foreign workers' recruitment policy through a special committee on foreign workers is prepared to review the country's foreign workers recruitment policy for all sectors. Now, Human Resources Minister M. Kulasegaran said the government has also relaxed some regulations related to foreign workers recruitment for one sector to address labour shortages in the sector.
7 sektor yang dibukukan dan 1 sektor itu telah dilonggarkan lah. Itu sektor pemborong dan runcit, dan sektor-sektor lain masih dihalusi oleh kerajaan, dan satu di antaranya kerajaan telah mentubuhkan satu jawatankuasa yang diketuai oleh Ketua Setiausaha Negara, termasuk dengan Ketua Setiausaha Kementerian Sumber Manusia dan Ketua Setiausaha Kementerian Dalam Negeri untuk menengok dan membuat kajian dan memberi pandangan kepada Kabinet untuk sektor-sektor lain, dan termasuk report yang dikaji, yang dibuat oleh jawatankuasa pekerja asing. Satu keputusan akan dibuat oleh mereka tak lama lagi.
Malaysia will welcome any investments from abroad, especially from Japan, that will raise the skills and wages of Malaysian workers. Now, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said such investments would improve the competitiveness of the Malaysian economy through the application of new technology. Speaking at the shareholders' agreement signing ceremony between the Japan Overseas Infrastructure Investment Corporation for Transport and Urban Development, or JOIN, and Tasco Berhad in Putrajaya, Lim said JOIN could be the bridge which connects Malaysian companies to other parts of the world through its global network and direct links to Japan's largest corporations. With the signing of the agreement, JOIN, a Japanese government private fund specializing in overseas infrastructure investment, has acquired a 30% stake in Tasco Yusen Gold Coal Sdn Bhd, a cold chain logistics arm of Tasco, for 125 million ringgit.
By taking up the 30% stake in Tasco Yusen Gold Coin Sdn Bhd, JOIN has committed to cooperate through knowledge sharing and technology transfer for the benefit of Malaysian cold chain logistics industry. With its global network and direct links to larger Japanese corporations, JOIN can be the first bridge to connect Malaysian companies to other parts of the world.
The signing was witnessed by Lim and the Japanese ambassador to Malaysia, Dr. Makio Miyagawa. The Perak Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, has foiled an attempt to smuggle in various brands of cigarettes from a neighbouring country in an early morning operations yesterday. Now, Perak Maritime Director, Maritime Captain Wan Mat Wan Abdullah, said in the Pagar Laut op at 2 a.m. yesterday, the MMEA seized more than 66,000 packets of cigarettes, estimated to be worth 1 million ringgit, at about 0.2 nautical miles from the mouth of Sungai Bernam, Hutan Melintang. Speaking in a press conference held at the Perak Maritime headquarters in Lumut, Captain Wan Mat said that the cigarettes included 59,600 packets of Kretek cigarettes of the Surya brand and 7,000 packets of Nusantara Hijau Kretek cigarettes.
Tangkapan dianggarkan 1.2 juta termasuk bot dan rokok. Manakala suspek berjaya melarikan diri dengan terjun ke laut. Kalau ikut jumlah ni, saya percaya lebih daripada Perak. Bukan saja untuk di Perak.
He said the success of the Op Pagar Laut was the result of continuous intelligence and monitoring work to curtail the smuggling of cigarettes meant for the Perak and Selangor market. On to sports. It was another night of goals at the FIFA World Cup Asian qualifiers as Malaysia trashed Timor-Leste with a 5-1 scoreline on the night and an emphatic 12-2 scoreline on aggregate. Sharil Fikri bagged an impressive hat-trick to ensure the Tigers beat off the challenge of Timor-Leste, who barely showed any signs of comeback despite their first leg hammering. The goal fest began as early as the 10th minute as Sharil Fikri wreaked havoc in the Timorese backline and he doubled Malaysia's advantage with another goal 7 minutes later. Timor-Leste were handed a golden opportunity by Ifwat Akmal in the Malaysian goal, who conceded a penalty in the 29th minute. He saved his own blushes, however, by stopping Waof Riatas' shot from hitting the back of the net. Malaysia piled on the pressure, soon scored again, this time through Muhammadu Sumareh. The second half proved much the same as Malaysia found their fourth goal 10 minutes after half-time as Akia Rashid got his name on the score sheet. Sharil Fikri might have thought he had his hat-trick from the penalty spot, but he couldn't convert as this time it was Ederito Fernandez who stopped the humiliation from getting worse. He did get his hat-trick finally after firing a low drive past the goalkeeper from the edge of the box and making it 5-0 on the night. A consolation goal from Rufina Gama was all Timor-Leste could manage by the end of the game. And that concludes this afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top story, no need to amend or improve existing MACC Act as the government works within the law. Join us again at 7 this evening for more news updates. I'm Adrian Seat. Thanks for watching.